Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Thursday, January 22nd, 2015. During the show, we discuss recent Nintendo news as well as this week's new releases and more. I'm your host, Alexander Cloughy, and joining me is site director Neal Ronahan
Nope.
and connectivity podcast editor Scott Thompson.
Hey, Alex.
Hey Scott, Neal will be joining us in like 2 or 3 minutes, but we didn't want to start too late. So we thought we would just go ahead and start with just the two of us. This week's top story is the end of Club Nintendo. Excuse me, Club Nintendo. And this was revealed via press release on Tuesday. Club Nintendo is officially dead in North America, starting on July 1st at this year when the service is taken down and all accounts and unspent coins are deleted. And it will be replaced with another program at a later point, which they haven't revealed yet. And Flipnote Studio 3D will be released free to all Club Nintendo members in February 2015. So that game came back in a big way, pretty much 2 or 3 years after everyone forgot about it. And then you can earn coins through March 31st, and games released after this point will not be Club Nintendo eligible. So by this point, I mean literally games released after January 22nd, as in today, will be completely ineligible to earn coins with. They will be giving large quantities of digital games and select physical rewards in an effort to give people plenty of stuff to spend their currently existing coins on. And perhaps one of the most interesting pieces of news, the Elite stuff that usually takes place in July or June, where you can obtain your gold and platinum rewards for spending either 300 or 600 coins during the year, earning 300 or 600 coins during the year, that's going to be during April, from April 1st to April 30th. And they're going to have a selection of digital games for that. What say you, Scott? What say you about all this Club Nintendo business?
I don't know. I guess I'd go with that. I'm surprised kind of the way they announced it. Like I feel like I kind of woke up in the middle of the night and saw a little light flash in my phone. I was like, oh, I must have gotten an email. This was probably like 4 in the morning, and I look and I was like, oh wow, Club Nintendo's dead.
Yeah,
I guess.
Nintendo.
Go ahead.
It's
No, no,
just
go
that
ahead.
Nintendo always chooses the super weird news that
Yeah.
comes out as soon as we wake up in the morning.
So I was like, oh wow, okay, I guess we'll be talking about this tomorrow morning when I wake up like in 2 hours. So I went back to
And
bed.
it was exactly the same way when the 3DS got its super weird price drop, and then they
Yep.
announced the title of Super Mario 3D Land in the same press release,
Yep.
and then it happened again with the 2DS. I think was a similar situation where they just you look at that press release and it looked like Nintendo was playing a prank on you,
Yeah.
and
That's
it just yeah.
very strange. I mean, like I get it. It's a worldwide company, like, and since this affected all regions, I mean, they announced it probably in time where it made sense, like in Japan, I imagine. But it was just kind of funny to wake up to. But I think I'm pretty okay with the service ending as long as we're getting something new, which we are. Um, I like the idea of Club Nintendo. I think there were some issues with it. I think the website was sort of horrendous. I think having to answer endless amounts of surveys to get your coins kind of sucked. I like that eventually you were able to kind of link your Nintendo Network ID, and so it would recognize when you downloaded digital games. Like that was nice, but they just need to kind of build it all like brand new from the ground up.
They
So,
need to scrap
um,
everything.
what's up?
I think they need to scrap a lot of their online infrastructure, and I think quite
Yeah,
a bit of it relies on Club Nintendo right now. Like, I think a surprising amount of it relies on Club Nintendo right now, because that's where all
yeah,
their rewards are locked up. That's where, like, one of the only main accounts Nintendo even offers its users is set up.
mhm,
And considering all your accounts are locked to this central Club Nintendo, I think Nintendo looked at this and realized, hey, either Club Nintendo eventually has to become your login info because it's the only solidified thing we have, or we have to scrap it and start over again. And I think
yeah.
that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to get rid of this and then make Nintendo Network way better and turn that into a PlayStation Plus kind of situation.
Yeah, and for an extended conversation on this, you can listen to this week's episode of Connectivity, where we answered a lot of questions about like what we want to see Club Nintendo become now. But that's I agree with you, Alex. Like that's where it needs to go for me. Like I want PlayStation Plus on my Wii U and 3DS. Like that's yes, please.
Isn't it so weird how when PlayStation Plus originally came out in like 2010 or 2011, everyone laughed about how bad the games were that were coming out and how
Hmm.
there wasn't that much to offer compared to Xbox Live Service. Now PSN won't get any better. And then through the years, as that thing adjusted and grew and became better, PlayStation Plus pretty much set the standard for like console online accounts. Now,
Yep.
granted, Steam, outside of those free games, is still pretty much doing it the best. But it's kind of amazing that PlayStation Plus evolved into this super reliable, super somewhat consumer friendly, and not counting the fact that you don't really own the free games you get. But if Nintendo can do their version of that and have VC games and have free eShop games and maybe even once or twice a year have a free digital game, like, no, they're not going to sell any more copies of Wonderful 101. Give that away in September, and
Yep.
then people will love you for it because not that many people bought it originally.
Yep.
I think if they replace this with a PlayStation Plus kind of thing, or just some kind of bulkier reward situation or bulkier online situation where there's more to offer the end consumer, this could be a really beautiful thing. And let's be real, Club Nintendo was no good. Like it did had a few rewards once in a while, and then like the platinum stuff last year was pretty good because they had the digital rewards. I think this thing might be even a year overdue, if not two.
Yeah, and it got to a point where everyone was just complaining about the rewards. Like I think we did have good rewards, and then they slowly kind of got worse. And then when they kind of switched to all digital games, you had people who bought all those games to get the coins to get platinum, and then it was like, oh, well now you're offering me like all the like sort of indie digital games I already bought, so this is sort of useless to me now. So yeah, I think it's just start over, start fresh, and move on from there. So I'm excited to see what happens. I hope we hear something about E3. Yeah.
So I won't go into this too far until Neal comes in, because Scott and I already discussed the Elite Status rewards at length when we were talking about some of the games we wanted. When Elite Status comes back in April, we were talking about Bayonetta 2, we were talking about Wonderful 101, just all these games that a lot of people didn't buy, but a lot of people really want. So you guys can listen to Connectivity or hear Neal's thoughts when he comes in, hopefully in a couple minutes. But what I also want to touch on is the large quantities of digital games and select physical rewards that are going to be coming out in the next few months. Do you think there's any chance we're going to be getting stuff that came out in Japan or anything new, or do you think they're literally just going to be adding in and replenishing stock of stuff North America got a year, 2 years, or 3 years ago?
Probably North American stuff, I would think.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we'll see. I guess I don't really. You can't really know for sure, but it, considering like the vast difference in rewards between here and Japan, like I kind of feel like it'll just still be the North American stuff here. So that's kind
Is
of
there
what I'm
anything
expecting.
that you wanted physical that you never got a hold of? Because I can think of the Hanafuda cards, the collectible old school Nintendo trading cards that was a Club Nintendo reward for a very long time, and then the Game and Watch, that handheld Game and Watch that came out for some time,
Oh yeah.
but was eventually taken away. That was like 800 coins. I kind of want that too, just to have it. But that's an electronic, and I wonder if they would even bother replenishing it. Hello, Neal.
Hi, are you talking about Game & Watch Ball?
I am, and I'm saying that if Nintendo replenishes all these old North American rewards, that's the one I want the most.
I regret never getting Game & Watch Ball. I'll be honest now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my one big Club Nintendo regret.
That you hope comes back when.
I don't, because I don't think it'll come back. It would be cool if it came back, but I don't think it will. Like, I
So
mean,
you think it's going to be all stuff that we've seen, like that's easier to mass produce, like folders and all this stuff.
But you gotta think that, like, okay, they don't have to do something cool, but you'd like to think they would do something cool. So maybe like, I mean, I think something cool would be we actually we had a lot of people check out. I think it was in Australia because Nick Bray got it, and it's the Wii Super Nintendo Classic controller. Like something
That's
like
actually
that would be
that's what I was
super
gonna say.
awesome.
That I wish would have come here. Yeah, that thing was badass.
Yeah, but the problem with this whole Club Nintendo getting all these cool, crazy international rewards is that the program runs out in March. The ability to earn coins, the ability to do surveys.
Yeah.
You can do all that stuff through March 31st, and then there's 4 months of rewards where they really want you to spend all your coins and not feel any trace of regret. Even though they'll probably put out some good stuff, they won't get too aggressive. They're not going to put out some of the crazy stuff in Japan, even though I'd really like them to. The more I think about it, it'll be what it'll be. It'll be okay, but I wouldn't get my hopes up too far.
Like even I was thinking about because this week on sale is Kid Icarus Uprising is like $25 on the eShop.
Yep.
And I thought with the new 3DS, maybe I'll pick this game up again. And then I thought, what if that's like for download on Club Nintendo? Because they did say that the Elite and Platinum rewards are going to be games.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like now I kind of want to hedge my bets and actually get a game that I don't have.
Yeah, that's fair. I hope that this will be the only chance to get the regular sized new 3DS in North America.
That's a great joke, Scott.
We'll be through the final 2
out.
months of Club Nintendo.
Get out.
This is your chance. Or
Well,
maybe
no,
the AC adapter for the new 3DS.
That would be pretty wonderful and hilarious. I hope they do that.
So Neal, we went through the list in general, but do you have any lingering thoughts on the Club Nintendo closure that you would like to get out to our audience?
Not really. I don't really want to say good riddance because it's not that I hated Club Nintendo. I just think that they can do something better, and just because they could do something better doesn't mean that they will. But at least there's like potential again. Because you kind of realize like a year or two ago, you're like, all right, Club Nintendo will never get any better than it is. It's been on a decline for 3 years.
Yeah.
So if they do introduce a new loyalty program, I hope it's pretty cool and way better than Club Nintendo.
Yeah, Scott and I were bringing up the point a few minutes ago that I want Nintendo to replace this with Nintendo Plus. I want the rewards program to just be fully integrated into their consoles and to just be there at a system level.
Like I don't think, like yeah, I guess the idea of like free games in a Nintendo Plus way, but I know I've seen some people talk about like, man, I want Netflix with Nintendo games. But after seeing PlayStation Now like exist, it seems on paper that PlayStation Now is fine, but I don't like. I have no urge to ever subscribe to PlayStation Now. Like
Right.
I think that games are way. I don't think a Netflix for games works the same way because like I can digest movies and TV like without that much of a commitment. Whereas with a game, like let's say if I beat 2 games a month on using this Netflix for games, like that doesn't. I don't know if that'd be worth like the $15-20 a month or whatever it would be.
Yeah, and I think the collection on PlayStation Now isn't nearly as good as Sony thinks it is, because
No, it's not.
the very good games that are on PlayStation Now are the games everyone has played. Like The Last of Us, there's going to be a few lingering people that still need to play it, and good on them. But like Uncharted 1, God of War HD, no one needs that. What this would be good for is a lot of really good. Exactly. So a lot of this stuff would be really good if they had like a lot of the third-party stuff that no one really played, and I don't really have a good example right now. Is 3D Dot Game Heroes on there? Is Valkyria Chronicles on there?
I would
those would be some
assume
good
no
games.
to Valkyria Chronicles and probably no to 3D Dot Game Heroes. Both of those games were really rad.
But those are good games for PlayStation Now to supplement the AAA Sony stuff.
It's almost a tie-in to new releases a little bit. It's like how Punch-Out's available on Wii U. Like, that's awesome. And I've been seeing so many tweets and posts from people talking about how, like, oh man, I missed out on Punch-Out the first time around. I can get it for $10 now. Same thing with Metroid Prime Trilogy. And I guess to a lesser extent Galaxy 2, because Galaxy 2 definitely fits into that category of the game everyone played. But, like, it's super awesome.
I don't know about that. I feel like Galaxy 2, there are a lot of people who played Galaxy 1 and just never got to Galaxy 2. I'm glad they went with 2 instead of 1. Because I feel like it is much less played than the first one.
1 is a way better game.
Well, no, I don't know about that.
I think 1 is a way better game. Like to me, there's no debate. Super Mario Galaxy 1 is incredible and amazing. Super Mario Galaxy 2, very fun. Nowhere near as good as the original.
It doesn't feel as fresh playing it as Mario Galaxy 1 felt the first time I played that.
I think Alex, you and I have talked about this a lot, especially with our I guess unpopular opinions about how we prefer 3D Land to 3D World.
Wildly so in my case.
Yeah. Yeah, for me the gap's a little smaller there, but it's the same kind of idea of why like both of us prefer 3D Land to 3D World and Galaxy 1 to Galaxy 2 is that it's like I guess kind of the original version is better than the new one. Like I don't want New Coke, man. Give me Mario 64 again, damn it.
I would even compare this more recently to Donkey Kong Country Returns to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Yes, if you want to make a case and both of these games came out on the same day, maybe you could make a stronger case that Tropical Freeze is by far better than Donkey Kong Country Returns. But because it was the first game to do this so right and so new, it just feels like it has way more heart. 3D Land feels like it has way more heart than 3D World because it came out first and was so much newer in idea and execution.
Yeah.
And I would argue the same thing with Galaxy and Galaxy 2.
I mean, Galaxy 1, you can look no further than the story with Rosalina as to why I think that kind of emotional resonance, even if it's completely optional, is way stronger. I mean, and even the observatory, which at the time I complained about it, but I realized how much I missed that when I just had the stupid Mario head spaceship in Galaxy 2.
See, those are like all the reasons I prefer Galaxy 2. Like, there's no story shoehorned in. There's no like huge sprawling spaceship to explore to try to find the world I'm looking for. It's like, okay, just go to the world map and just pick where I want to go, and then boom, like I'm playing instantly. Like that's what I want. I don't need a story for like why I'm exploring space or trying to save Princess Peach. It's just like, let me run around. And plus, Yoshi's in Galaxy 2, guys. Come on.
Yoshi is pretty rad in Galaxy 2. I'll give you that.
Like playing Galaxy 2 again, using the Wii pointer to control his tongue and eat enemies. I don't think there will ever be like a more fun or better way to control Yoshi. Like, I forgot how great that is, and it's gonna bum me out like to never really probably do that again because I don't see them implementing Wii Remote like here.
Well, this seems like a good time to pimp a future Nintendo World Report TV feature that's in the early stages, might be sometime in February or March. Or we're gonna go look back at some 3D Mario games, starting with 64 and Sunshine. But depending on how we feel after that, we'll probably go to Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2. So stay tuned.
There you go. All right, well let's move on.
Moving on to new releases. The big one this week, in my opinion, and many people's opinion, Punch-Out on Wii is $10 on the Wii U this week. That's a really good game. Neal gave it a 10 out of 10, and Neal also wrote a new editorial about why that game is still so good. And oh, there it is. I thought you were getting up and going to leave me hanging.
No. Sorry, I had to take off my headphones to show off my shirt. What did you say?
He said that he said that Punch-Out now costs $1 for every point that you gave it on Nintendo World Report.
See, but if you read my recent editorial, then you know that retroactively I feel different.
I know.
But no, I mean, I love the crap out of Punch-Out when it came out back in 2009, and I replayed my disc copy this week before it came out on Wii U, and I love the crap out of that game now. Yeah, I mean, I think it's incredible. I think it's a masterpiece. Obviously, if you don't like rhythmic boxing, might not be your jam, but I really like rhythmic boxing, so it's totally my jam.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I said this on one of our music segments a while ago. I think the fighting game music segment on Connectivity a couple months ago. And to me, Punch-Out isn't really a fighting game. It's very much more like a puzzle game. I mean, it's all about recognizing pattern and then striking at the right moment. You can't just go in and just like mash buttons, or swing wildly. Like that's not going to work. So it's fun. I love Punch-Out, and the Wii version is so good.
Yeah, and I realized that. I think it was when I was playing the Wii version that it kind of dawned on me. I was like, how come I don't like any other boxing games? Because like I tried playing like your Fight Nights and I don't know, with Knockout Kings and stuff like that. I never really cared. Ready to Rumble Boxing was another one. But Punch-Out I was all about, and it is because of what you say. It's basically a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game where you need to have some kind of rhythm, because that's when I go back and play that original NES game and I can power through most of it. A lot of it's just because there's a rhythm where you're fighting Don Flamenco, you get that one punch on him, and if you keep up the rhythm, you knock him out in one shot.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. And that empowering feeling when you figure out how to defeat an opponent and do it really quickly, or find that opening where you can punch them and get a star. It's beautiful.
So here's a question. What do you think the odds are that Next Level Games is currently working on a new Punch-Out, and what are the odds that it ends up on Wii U or 3DS? I said this in an editorial a little while back, but I hope the next Punch-Out game is on 3DS, because I think that game would look so fucking good in 3D.
You can look no further than Teleroboxer and the Virtual Boy to see how fucking rad a Punch-Out game would be in 3D. But just imagine in red and black. And you didn't have to put a weird, you didn't have to put an Oculus on your face in order to look at it.
How hard do you think it would be to make like 3DS ports of Virtual Console games? I'm sure they would have to be made from the ground up at least in some
Yeah.
capacity, but
Or
I don't know why that wouldn't work.
heavily modified. Like I think I have a feeling that it's probably that they would have to put in time and resources into it, and it's probably not worth it because when you think about it, like, yeah, I have this weird nostalgia for the Virtual Boy, which is weird considering that I didn't own one when it actually came out. But like, I think it's really neat and novel. But there's like a really good game in Wario Land and like a couple mediocre ones, and then a bunch of crap. And Jack Bros, which I've never played but really want to.
Yeah, I think Nintendo could potentially do something good sales wise if they had like a promotion set up for like 5 Virtual Boy games on during 5 weeks. Like it would be like Mario, what's it called? Mario Clash,
Yep.
1 week, and then followed by Wario, and then Tetris, and then Nestor's Funky Bowling. There's some order where that would make sense, so they just do it all at once, so no one ever asks for more again.
But then you think about it, like
yeah.
Nestor's Funky Bowling, like it's Nestor's Funky Bowling, so that's fun. But what? It's just a fucking bowling game. Like Mario
That's
Tennis.
true.
Get what Mario Tennis is. The first fucking Mario Tennis game ever. No one wants to play that.
That's true. Here's a great. Actually, you know what? I won't even bother. I was gonna say, what if Nestor was the secret NES Smash Bros. Fighter in the next Smash Bros. Game, but he's not even an NES character.
Yeah.
So that's kind of moot. But I feel like, yeah. What were you saying?
Is Nestor part of Nintendo? I mean, like I know he originated from Nintendo Power, but like I think Nestor's Funky Bowling was his only appearance in a video game ever.
I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Anyways, moving on to other new releases. Citizens of Earth came out for 3DS and Wii U, and this week it is discounted to $11.99 rather than $15 as it would be normally.
I would like to think that they have that discount because the Wii U version and the 3DS versions are buggy as shit.
Is that exclusive to those versions? Do you know?
No. From what I've heard, I mean, it's also out on PS4, Vita, and PC. From what I've read on the internet, the PS4 and the Vita also have similar issues to the Wii U and the 3DS. I don't really know which one is worse. It seems like a real your mileage may vary kind of thing. Because, like, for example, we have a review up on the site that is unscored because our reviewer, Kim Keller, could not progress through the game because of all the bugs and glitches. Scott actually edited my 3DS review of the game, which in the beginning, like, it's a really neat game. It's very similar to Earthbound, but like way more jokey, and that's something that's kind of something that I really like about Earthbound is how kind of sincere it is. So it's kind of a bummer that they decided to take the really like goofy side of Earthbound and amp it up a whole lot. But as I got farther into the game, I would have like battles and menus glitch out, and I'd have to back out of the menu and then go back into it for it to show up. I had the game crash on me 5 or 6 times throughout the 20 hours that I put into it. Like, it's a really cool game, but there are a ton of issues on the Wii U and 3DS versions. I think the PC version might be the best version. Also, there's crazy amounts of load times. Like, every time you do anything, you go to a black screen for a couple seconds, and it's kind of obnoxious, especially when you want to explore or like you're going to a specific place.
Excellent, and hopefully Atlas patches that in because I think it's so cool that they're trying like their own indie push, like publishing like Citizens of Earth, which wasn't that a failed Kickstarter game?
Yeah, actually, the company Eden Industries that developed it is, I don't know if it's entirely made up. I know that the main guy actually is from Next Level Games, and he worked on Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and then left and started working on Citizens of Earth.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Have they done anything other than Daylight in this and for their indie push? There had to have been a couple other games.
I mean, they might have. I mean, like, they did, I forget it's Xenoclash, I think. I never played them, but they've been working with, like, that development team for a while. I think they also did, like, Rock of Ages. There was another game from that. I think it's, like, the Brazilian Brothers or something. I forget the name. It's like some sort of blank team. I can't think of the name of it. But they've done a couple games.
Okay.
That pinball RPG. They do
sure.
stuff.
And then sales-wise, here's just a very quick PSA. The Yu-Gi-Oh game is $12, down from $20 on 3DS. Don't buy that. And then also there's the throwback sale this week for 3DS and Wii U, and they have a discounts on a bunch of games. Kid Icarus is $24.99. Link Between Worlds is $10 off at $29.99. And then you also got NES Remix 2, $10.49 down from $15. Runner 2 for $6. Another Neal Ronahan certified 10 out of 10 game. Swords and Soldiers for $119. Guacamelee $6. SeaWorld Digs $4. And more.
Wait. Aren't all of those indie games that are on sale? They are only discounted for that if you bought one of the other indie games that are part
Is
of
that the case? It's
Yeah.
I believe you. Okay, there you go. I mean, I'm sure it's the same rules as last week.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I think it's the same sale.
It is the same sale. It's like the
The
next
Indie
week.
Connection 2 sale or something like that, where like if you bought Runner 2, then you can get some other indie games for 60% off. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good games there. Kid Icarus is good. Link Between Worlds is okay. NES Remix 2 is better than NES Remix 1 in a lot of ways.
You should just get
Runner 2 is
Ultimate
dope.
NES Remix instead.
Yeah, on 3DS that version is actually real good, and I actually
I
kind of
love-
prefer it to the Wii U ones.
I love that version. I put like 10, 15 hours into that. I adore that game.
Did you 3-star everything?
No.
Okay.
I'm not hardcore
okay.
enough.
And there you have it. There are the new releases. Get on that. And I'm guessing there's going to be another throwback sale next week because these have been lining up with the Wii releases of those $10 Wii games. So Galaxy 2 came out last week. That was part of the throwback sale. Punch-Out was $10 this week. That's officially part of the throwback sale. So I'm guessing Prime Trilogy next week is also going to have more games alongside that. So look forward to that. Now, getting into the meat of the show, the news. Fire Emblem, the new Fire Emblem on 3DS, that is supposedly coming out in 2015 in English-speaking territories. This was revealed as part of like an email sent out by Nintendo of Australia, who said that the game was coming out in 2015. And then we know in Japan that's coming out in summer. But I would still be surprised if that game made it here by the end of 2015. That seems a little too early.
I'm going to say something kind of mean.
Okay.
Nintendo of Australia, man. Do you really think they're totally in the know? Really?
I remember just Pokemon Black 2. There was a press release that came out a long time ago when they were promising that Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 were going to come out in spring. And then everyone on the VP Pokemon board on 4chan got so hyped about it for 200 posts until someone realized that spring actually means autumn in Australia.
That's good.
They're fucking goofy. It's just the prices are goofy, the system, all that. Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, we talk about how like Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe mess things up every now and then, or like have like weird announcements and junk like that. Like, just imagine if like you remove them 4 more places from Nintendo in Japan. Because I remember because we have a couple guys in Australia and they've come over for E3 and stuff, or at least Andrew Brown has. And I've heard things from him about how like, I was talking to the guys from Nintendo of Australia and they asked us if we could get them into the Nintendo press conference. So, maybe I don't trust Nintendo Australia's proclamation that Fire Emblem is coming out in 2015 in English-speaking countries. I mean, it could happen, but February 2016 sounds really good for that game.
Well, it kind of reminds me.
It sounds like the right time, yeah.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of what was it? The Last Guardian, wasn't it like IGN like New Zealand that reported that? Like
Russia, IGN Russia. Did you know there's an IGN in Russia? Because I sure didn't.
IGN Russia, yeah, I had a Russian Sony contact say that Last Guardian was canceled, and that did not turn out to be true. So yeah.
Yeah, this is going to come out next February. I can feel it. Like, even if the game is ready for this fall to be released, it just seems like it's way better placed at next February, especially if it's as excellent as Fire Emblem Awakening. Like, that's the right time period for it.
You'd send it out to die if you released it in fall.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, Awakening succeeded because it came out in that void, like in like the first, fourth of the year. So that's when it needs to come out. Yep.
I mean, unless Nintendo really thinks that Fire Emblem like went to the upper echelon with Awakening, which Awakening sold really well for a Fire Emblem game, but that's like that is the kind of thing about like, oh yeah, the Fire Emblem Awakening was the tallest midget. Like that's kind of what you're saying. The Fire Emblem series has never really sold that well, and Awakening sold well for a Fire Emblem game. And if you release that in fall, it's gonna flop. Like you release that in February, you have a time period where there's not as much going on. It's not the holiday season, and you can probably duplicate the success that you had from Fire Emblem Awakening. The 2-3 years earlier.
Sure. Moving on to our next story. This one's way smaller, but the Circle Pad Pro XL is supported by The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. And the reason why I am posting this as a story is because I think it poses an interesting question for the future of new 3DS. When so many games are probably going to have new 3DS support, but it's probably going to be nothing more than the C-Stick is supported for easier camera movement. Do you think we're still going to see games 2 years from now that have this same feature, like it's a new 3DS game, kind of, but you can still more or less play it on the regular 3DS with a Circle Pad Pro? Or do you think they're just going to straight up abandon it soon, and that this was just something they did out of the kindness of their hearts to people who aren't going to get a new 3DS right away?
All right, I think they did it because they want Zelda to sell as much as possible. But no, I'm hoping in 2 years, God, I hope we're not still seeing like regular 3DS games, like basically enhanced 3DS games that support both platforms. Like they need to just go all new Nintendo 3DS in 2 years. I mean, yeah.
But you're still going to have a split market with new 3DS and the old versions. Like I think it's a fanciful dream to imagine that in 2 years you're going to have all these people who, because there's, I don't know, like I'm pulling a number completely out of my ass, like 40-50 million 3DSs in North America. Like, let's say by this time next year, you might have at best a sixth of that could be new 3DS. Like, why would you go so hardcore into making new 3DS only games?
There's still got to be a couple, I think. I think we're going to see at least one more major game outside of Xenoblade, or probably even 2 or 3 more major games that are new 3DS only. I don't think this is going to be like the DSi where there's some shitty like camera game that comes out, and then that's the only time we see that weird box art. We'll probably see a little more new 3DS, but I think you're right. They won't devote too many resources.
I can't wait for when we can start talking about like DSiWare anniversary stuff, because I spent way too much time talking to the people who made that DSiWare exclusive game, System Flaw. They're kind of local to Jersey, Pennsylvania area. Holy shit, that was a wild time.
I'm looking forward to the time when we can revisit that really bad WarioWare game and just have a real discussion about it. I never got that game. I didn't fall for the Siren's Curse and get that alongside the DSi when we got that 1,000 points. I got the Brain Age game instead, but apparently that game is no good.
I got that WarioWare game, which is ass, and Birds and Beans, which is really fun.
That game is pretty good. Yeah. That might be still on my new 3DS. My regular 3DS XL. Like I think that made it like 5 years, just being on my system. So that's real cool. Moving on to our final story. Hopefully Scott comes back soon. We're gonna. Oh, and then there you have it. Scott is coming back.
He's back.
Now this last story is talking about the Wii U and Amiibo sales. Wii U had its best hardware and software sales month ever, according to Nintendo, as hardware sales shot up 29% and software sales improved by 75% from 2013. In addition, around 2.5 Amiibos have been sold so far.
You said 2.5 million. I think you just said 2.5 million. Only 2.5 Amiibos have been sold. Someone cut up a Pikachu and left the bottom half in the store.
2.5 million Amiibo have been sold so far, nearly double the total sales of Smash Bros. Wii U. Looking at Nintendo, by the way, once again, I am just reading Neal's news story. Looking at Nintendo's publicly available sales data from the past 2 years, the Wii U appears to have sold around 1.67 million units in the Americas in 2014, compared to 2013's 1.3 million. From October to December, Nintendo appears to have sold around 760,000 units in the Americas. Game-wise, Mario Kart 8 put out 1.7 million physical and digital units, and Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire sold more than 2.6 million. A pair of Smash Bros. Games sold close to 4 million combined, with 1.7 coming from the Wii U version and over 2 million coming from the 3DS version. Just first immediate thought, those Mario Kart 8 numbers are about what I expected. 1.7.
It's slowed down pretty. Like I mean, I thought it would get more of a boost in the second half of the year, like the holiday season especially, because wasn't it? It got to 1 million within like a month or something like that, or was that
Yeah.
worldwide? Shit, should have done my homework.
But you're totally right. The sales completely dropped off in the next few months,
Yeah.
especially since there was that like 3 month window when there were no other games other than Mario Kart. I think it was like May to September or May to August.
Hyrule Warriors, yeah, May 30th to like September 20th or whenever Hyrule Warriors came out. There was zero. Well, no, Wii Sports Club came out in July. Save the system, don't you know?
Yeah, and that's really cool for the Wii U. I think it earned those numbers this year,
Yeah.
or at least
I
those
mean,
improvements.
I mean, but we can always kind of take a step back and know that it did improve. However, I believe that not combined separately, I think that the Xbox One and the PS4 outsold the Wii U by like at least 4 times, something like that.
Yeah.
Like the Wii U's still not doing great overall, but it's nice to see that there's upward movement. I mean, we'll see how much longer the system's going to last. I mean, we're definitely going to have at least one more year. I wouldn't be surprised if 2016 is a new Nintendo console and a holiday 2016. Like, I think that's a real possibility.
Maybe if they, I think Animal Crossing is the game they put out in 2016. I've said this before, but Animal Crossing is the one big Nintendo franchise they have left, and I think they're going to try to save that for a holiday season. Much like they did with Animal Crossing City Folk on Wii when that came out during a really bad Nintendo year. So I think that's going to come out in 2016. That would probably make sense launching the Wii U 2 in North America at that time.
I wouldn't be shocked if Animal Crossing Wii U is out this year.
They'll have nothing left. If once Animal Crossing goes, they have nothing.
Well, that's why they would release a new system in 2016.
But then you got 11 months of nothing, unless like that new Galaxy EAD whatever Mario game comes out. That'll be it.
Think about this time last year. We didn't know Splatoon existed. We didn't know Kirby and the Rainbow Curse existed. Okay, we knew that Mario Maker. We didn't know that existed. Star Fox. We didn't know that existed. Like I'm just saying, like just because we don't know it exists doesn't mean it's not happening.
It seems too early on the sales timeline. Like I'm not gonna. I'll say this one more time, but like, just tell me, is there any game that could fill in 2016 for Nintendo that is even close to the scale of Animal Crossing, Zelda, and Mario? That's not just another Mario game.
A new system.
That's the best they got left.
Metroid Prime 4.
And, I mean,
that's another great joke, Scott.
That could actually, like, honestly, is that insane to think that game could be in development right now?
I want that.
It's insane for that to be the one holiday game Nintendo has.
With Trilogy coming out, I want Prime 4 so bad.
Yeah.
Like it would, because I know I'm going to get Trilogy and I'm going to love it. But I'm also the same way like what I was with just playing Galaxy 2. I'm like, man, this just does not really look that great. And like, it's just going to make me want a great HD Metroid Prime game so bad.
Yeah. And if you think about it, Retro Studios is working on some game right now, and it seems like they're going to be revealing that game real soon.
They did join Twitter.
Yeah.
If it's not the new Star Fox game, if they're not working on the new Star Fox game, like I think they probably are, it might have to be Metroid if it's not something new altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Star Fox game thing could be right, because Miyamoto is the kind of guy that will tease something. Like, I mean, there's always the, like, oh, I've been gardening, or, like, I've been swimming a lot, like, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he made that comment, what was it? It was around when I know I was trumpeting the theory that Retro Studios was working on a new Zelda game, that I convinced myself and some other people pretty heavily, and then found out that I was full of complete garbage. When Miyamoto, in an interview, made some comment about how, like, oh, they're not working on the new Zelda game, but you know what? I'd really love to work with Retro Studios. I don't remember the exact quote, but I remember that was the gist of it. And that was a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think it was when Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was announced. So now we're almost 2 years later since that announcement. Maybe Miyamoto started working with Retro Studios after Tropical Freeze came out, and they started working on that Star Fox game. And It's a similar development style to how Mario Kart 7 was developed, where you probably do have a core team at Nintendo, probably from one of the EAD groups, and they're working with Retro Studios, and I mean they proved that that could work with Mario Kart 7.
Yep. And now I'm like 80% convinced it probably is Star Fox. Like, that sounds way more realistic. Huh?
I'm going to blame you if this goes south. You're the one who planted the seed in my head and made me logic it out.
But doesn't it make so much sense? Then, especially following what they did in the Metroid Prime. Yeah, there you go. I promise it's Star Fox on Wii U. And that's our show. Thank you for joining me during this installment of Nintendo News Report, and be sure to tell us everything you disliked or maybe liked in the comments, because we want to give you the best show possible.
Okay, I'm just going to say, I changed my mind. They're not working on Star Fox on Wii U.
It's alright, I'm still promising.
I've turned, I'm out.
100% guarantee. Anyways, I would like to thank Neal and Scott for joining me. Neal can be found on Twitter at NRON, the number 10, Enron10, and Scott at OK, the word soda, OKSODA. And I can be found at CULAFIA, that is Kulafia. That'll be all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.